This is your USMNT Abroad weekend update from August 22nd to August 24th of 2025. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. And welcome to the US Men's National Team Abroad series, where every single Monday we update you on how the Yanks did abroad over the weekend. Now, this weekend was interesting, right, as a US Men's National Team fan, because there were no big headlines. There were some good headlines, but no huge, big headlines. But it was a very positive weekend for the US Men's National Team, where a lot of good things happened. We're going to talk about it throughout the episode. Many players came back from injuries. We're going to talk about their performances like Balogun, Pepi, Anthony Robinson, and much more. And this video is also brought to you by Bear Mattress, but more on that later. If you need to buy a mattress, the link will be in the description with a special offer, but we'll talk about Bear later in the USMNT Abroad episode. Now, what you can do to help the channel right now is hit that like button, help us hit 1,000 likes once again, as we did in the episode last week. And with that said, let's roll the intro and let's start the weekend recap. As always, we start with the top 5 leagues in Europe. The first one being the Serie A. Now listen, this is not a ranking. Before anyone says it, what are you ranking the Serie A ahead of the Premier League? No, it's just the order that we want to go with the episodes throughout this entire season. So let's go to Italy and talk about the Americans that play there. The first two being Christian Pulisic and Yunus Musah from Milan. And on Saturday, Christian Pulisic started and played the full 90 minutes for Milan during their 2-1 loss at home against newly promoted side Cremonese, which is a pretty rough start to Milan's Serie A season, in which I wasn't expecting, but I also didn't expect them to be great. As for Yunus Musah, he stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes, and with roughly 7 days left in the European transfer window, there are rumors that Musah could leave. And apparently, Milan wants 30 million euros for Yunus Musah. Good luck finding a sucker that is willing to pay that. And listen, Milan is not what they used to be. I'll talk about that in a second. But they're also at a standard that Musah doesn't reach that level, right? Just because he wears that Milan jersey, it doesn't mean he's at that Milan level. So he probably should leave. And if you don't believe me, I have a story for you. For example, I have this friend of mine that was struggling in life, so he decided to live in a garage. It's also because he loves cars very much. And he lived in a garage for like 3 or 4 years, something like that, a full World Cup cycle. After those 3 or 4 years, he left the garage. And guess what? He still didn't become a car. As for the game, Milan was ass. They were terrible, which kind of sucks because when I was a kid, Manchester United and Milan, they were teams that the opponents feared and fans loved watching them. Now, I'm afraid to watch them, and no opponent fears Milan, no opponent fears Manchester United. They're just not good, both of them. Now, Christian Pulisic in this game, he was fine. He had his moments, nothing spectacular, but he almost scored a nice volley. He kind of was dangerous at times, and he probably would have had an assist if he was playing alongside someone better than Santi Giménez. When Milan signed Santi Giménez back in January, I was called a madman for saying it was a very dumb signing, a terrible signing. He's not a good player, and they paid almost 40 million euros for this guy. And now, the entire fan base doesn't like Santi Giménez. So I was right once again. And I know you were as well, because all of you knew Santi was not a great player. And he might actually leave Milan this window. So it's going to be a bit rough following Christian Pulisic this season. Not really because of him specifically. It's just that Milan is under Allegri. And Allegri tends to make unwatchable teams. He's a world-class soccer terrorist. And we saw him do that with Milan this weekend. If he did what he did this weekend in the United States, he would be in prison. Next up, we have Weston McKennie from Juventus. And on Saturday, McKennie started off the bench and was subbed in the 88th minute for Juve during their 2-0 win over Parma in the Serie A. So clearly McKennie has been benched. We noticed that during preseason, but it's fine. That usually happens every year, and then he finds a way to become a starter throughout the season. Let's just hope he does the same once again. Next up, we have the Americans in the English Premier League. But before we talk about them, let's put a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Bear Mattress. We'll be back very soon. The link and promo code will be in the description of this video. Don't go anywhere. Now listen, I recently moved and I needed a new mattress. Now thanks to our partners in this video, I got a good one, I got a great one, and I have a special offer for you. 40% off your next mattress. The link and promo code are in the description of this video. And you know what? Sleeping is kind of important for function on basic day-to-day tasks and your health. And the mattress that you sleep matters. Bear knows that everybody has different preferences and sleep positions. To help find the best mattress for you, they actually made a sleep quiz that will remove all the guesswork. Everything done online, and then they will assign the perfect mattress to match your needs. I took the quiz myself, and I got the Elite Hybrid Queen-sized bed. And if you are in the United States of America, they ship to you for free. And once it's delivered to your door, all you have to do is unbox it, and there it is. This beautiful mattress, this great mattress. I got it, I'm loving it, and it's been helping me get my beauty sleep. And I'm sure you've noticed, the beauty sleep is the reason why people call me taller and better looking Tom Cruise. And all of Bear's mattresses are also created without the use of any harmful chemical, so you can sleep safely and soundly knowing that there will be no off-gassing. They're also fiberglass free, and not having any of that is beneficial to your health. Now, one thing that I also noticed with Bear is that the mattress does not heat up very easily. I get hot very easily at night, usually. I used to. I'm a hot guy, but it hasn't really happened as often. And it also comes with a 120 night sleep trial to test the mattress out and ensure that you love it. I love Bear Mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking to upgrade your sleep, head to the link in the description of this video and use the code TACTICAL to get 40% off your Bear Mattress. Make sure to take advantage of this special offer. Again, the link is in the description of this video, and the code is TACTICAL. Oh hey, you're back. Now we can talk about the Americans in England in the English Premier League. The first one being Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. And on Sunday, Richards started and played the full 90 minutes for Crystal Palace during their 1-1 draw with Nottingham Forest. Though I wasn't able to watch this game, but what I can tell you from watching the highlights was that Chris Richards was not at fault for the goal they conceded. Next up, we have A-Rob, Anthony Robinson from Fulham. And on Sunday, A-Rob was back from injury and he started off the bench and was subbed in the 62nd minute for Fulham during their 1-1 draw with Manchester United. And Robinson looked fit, healthy, he was moving well, he was fast, he was running up and down the field. He was just a bit rusty on the ball. Some of his passes weren't great, crosses, and iffy first touches. Not that he's the most technical player in the world, but he looked a bit worse than his normal self. Nothing to be concerned about. It was his first game back. I'm also not saying he looked bad. He actually looked fine to good. It's just that at his best, he's even better. Next up, we have Tyler Adams from Bournemouth. And on Saturday, Tyler started and played 88 minutes for Bournemouth during their 1-0 win over Wolves. And Tyler had a good game, and he played a crucial role in helping them win this. The goal originated from Tyler Adams pressing. His press high up the field led to a turnover, which came the assist of the only goal scored in this game. Along with that, Tyler Adams did a great job protecting that back line, and he's looking very good early in the season for Bournemouth. Last but not least in England, we have Brenden Aaronson from Leeds. But before I even talk about him, make sure to drop a like in this video if you haven't already, and a random comment in the comment section down below. How about you do this? You share your thoughts on Paxton Aaronson going back to MLS. I think most people didn't like that. Okay, but Brenden Aaronson. On Saturday, he started off the bench and was subbed in the 66th minute for Leeds during their 5-0 loss to Arsenal. Now, when he was subbed in, they were already down 4-0. Next up, we have the Americans in Germany that play in the Bundesliga. The first one would have been Malik Tillman from Bayer Leverkusen. He's still injured. We don't know exactly when he will be back. Next weekend is the last weekend before the international break. So if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I would not expect Malik Tillman to be back or to play for Bayer Leverkusen until after the international break. So that's it for Tillman. Now let's talk about two Americans that clashed over the weekend. Cole Campbell from Borussia Dortmund and James Sands from St. Pauli. And on Saturday, Cole Campbell stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes for Dortmund, while James Sands started and played 87 minutes for St. Pauli during their 3-3 draw with Dortmund in the Bundesliga. And the next up, we have Joe Scally and Gio Reyna from Borussia Mönchengladbach. I will no longer call them Borussia, not Dortmund. They deserve respect. They saved Gio Reyna from Dortmund. Now listen, I did a whole transfer about his move If you want my thoughts or my opinion on Gio Reyna moving to Borussia Mönchengladbach, go check out our last live stream. I talked about it extensively. I compared it to Parma, so you can go check that out. But let's talk about Joe Scally this weekend. And on Sunday, Joe Scally started and played the full 90 minutes for Gladbach during their 0-0 draw with Hamburg in the Bundesliga. As for Gio Reyna, he was not available yet because he just completed the move like 2 or 3 days ago. So he should be available for Gladbach next Saturday when they face Stuttgart. That's when I expect him to make his debut. Now, Kevin Paredes from Wolfsburg, he's injured. He won't be back till November or December. And Noah Kai Banks, unfortunately, stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes for Augsburg over the weekend, the US men's national team U20 prospect. And because he's not playing the Bundesliga, he's probably not going to get a US men's national team senior call-up, which makes sense. I would want him to be integrated to the team early because there's potential there, but he won't be. And based on what Thomas Müller leaked in MLS, because the roster is out this week for the US men's national team, it looks like Tristan Blackman is going to be in the US men's national team roster, according to German legend Thomas Müller. I don't know if it's true. We'll find out later this week when the roster is officially out. That's the guy that at some point was like a right back for LAFC, and now he's a center back for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Once that's official, I'll share my actual thoughts on it, which are not great, but that was the rumor. Let the MLS conspiracies begin. Okay, next up, we're going to go to La Liga and talk about Johnny Cardoso from Atletico Madrid. And on Saturday, Johnny started and played 68 minutes for Atletico Madrid during their 1-1 draw with Elche in La Liga. That is 1 point for Atletico Madrid in 2 games. That's a pretty rough start for them in La Liga. A terrible start, actually. It's not looking good. But I think Diego Simeone will be able to turn things around. Now let's go to France and talk about the Americans in Ligue 1. The first one being Florin Balogun from Monaco, the best center forward the US men's national team currently has, and he's back. He's back from injury. And on Sunday, Balogun started and played the full 90 minutes for Monaco during their 1-0 loss to Lille. Okay, so the good news here is that Balogun is back from injury and he looked fully fit. He looked healthy. He was moving well and he played the entire game, the full 90 minutes. So he 100% is fully fit by now. Now, the performance was okay, nothing bad, nothing great. He didn't really get much service. He made a few good runs, right? But besides that, there's not much more to talk about. He had an opportunity to score off a header. And I don't have anything else to add here. But he's back, and he should be in the US men's national team September roster. I hope. Next up is Tim Weah from Olympique Marseille. And on Saturday, Weah started and played 62 minutes for Marseille during their 5-2 win over Paris FC. So Weah got his first start for Marseille, and he was actually playing mainly as a left winger. And let me tell you, he dropped a big stinker, a massive doo-doo. Poop. Terrible performance. He was at fault for the first goal they conceded. I mean, you can kind of say, oh, it wasn't entirely his fault, but he most certainly could have done better to cut that shot, not let the opponent... Don't give the opponent the inside. That's my point. At best, throughout the game, he was meh. He just wasn't good, and that's why he was actually subbed out early as soon as Marseille conceded a goal, like 4 minutes after the game was tied. When he left the game, it was 2-2. And then it ended 5-2 in Marseille's favor. It was his first start, so I'll cut him some slack, but his performance was evil. Oh, sorry. I said evil. I meant crap. Next up, we have Mark McKenzie from Toulouse. And on Sunday, McKenzie started and played the full 90 minutes for Toulouse during their 2-0 win over Brest. That's 2 games with Toulouse this season and 2 clean sheets. Last but not least in France, we have Tanner Tessman from Lyon. And on Saturday, Tessman started and played the full 90 minutes for Lyon during their 3-0 win over Metz. Again, another good performance from the American midfielder in a double pivot midfield. With Matic gone, I actually expect Tanner Tessman to be a locked-in starter for them the entire season. Rightfully so. Okay, time to leave France and go to the Netherlands so we can talk about the Americans that play for PSV. Ricardo Pepi and Serginho Dest. And on Saturday, Dest started and played the full 90 minutes for PSV during their 4-2 win over Groningen. And Dest has been unstoppable with his dribbling in the Eredivisie. He has been trying to put on a show each and every game, and he has been putting on a show. He had another great performance. This time, he got an assist on a goal scored by an American winger that plays for Bosnia, Esmir Bajraktarovic. After a Serginho Dest pass, Esmir shot and scored off a deflection. Now, Esmir actually came off the bench and scored a brace, and this hurts because he's such a good prospect, a great winger, and he would have been a good option for the US men's national team, but unfortunately, he wanted to play for Bosnia. And if you miss any PSV games, don't worry, because Serginho Dest has been posting his highlight compilation on Instagram. So just go follow him on Instagram and you'll get his wonderful highlights. Trust me, it's a must watch. I love Dest. As for Ricardo Pepi, he wasn't even really expected to make the bench as he's still slowly coming back from his knee surgery. But Plia, whatever his name is, that plays for PSV, he is injured and done for 2025. He'll only be back in 2026. So Pepi was back early. He made the bench and he got 5 minutes at the end of this game. I don't really expect Pepi to start for PSV until after the international break. But the good news here is that he's back, he's healthy, and he's probably going to score a lot of goals this season. Okay, now we have the Americans in the EFL Championship in England. The first two being Josh Sargent from Norwich and Aidan Morris from Middlesbrough because they clashed over the weekend. And on Saturday, Sargent started and played the full 90 minutes for Norwich during their 2-1 loss to Middlesbrough. So Sargent was actually struggling to get service most of this game, besides a few headers here and there, but his head game wasn't really good this game. However, late in the second half, Sargent scored a nice goal to bring Norwich back to life when they were down 2-0, even though they still lost 2-1. He managed to keep his balance and composure in front of the goalie and ultimately hit the ball over the goalkeeper to score. It was a very nice goal. Go check it out yourself. But the man of the match was another American that actually plays for Middlesbrough, a midfielder, Aidan Morris. He was the best performer, and he was great. His high press, counter press has been simply fantastic this season so far. He almost scored a beautiful chip goal after he stole the ball on offense, and he also got an assist that started with a remarkable press from Aidan Morris himself and ended with a low cross from Aidan Morris to his teammate to get the assist. Aidan was the man of the match, and he helped Middlesbrough get the 3 points again. And if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to drop a like, and once again, that random comment in the comment section down below to boost us in the YouTube algorithm. Next up, we have Haji Wright from Coventry. And on Saturday, Haji Wright started and played 79 minutes for Coventry during their 7-1 win over Queen Park Rangers. 7-1. That's a score I never heard of before. I don't think it ever happened. And Haji Wright actually scored 2 goals. He scored a brace. Both goals were very nice slow shots, very nice finishes. And at this point, Josh Sargent has scored 3 goals in 3 games in the EFL Championship. And Haji Wright has also scored 3 goals in 3 games in the EFL Championship. Both US men's national team forwards could easily hit 25 to 30 goals this season if they stay healthy. And that's a really big if. That's a huge if. That's one of the biggest ifs I've ever seen in my life. Now we have Damian Downs from Southampton, also in the EFL Championship. And on Saturday, Damian Downs started off the bench and was subbed in at halftime for Southampton during their 2-1 loss to Stoke City. Now the other players, Caleb Wiley, Ajiman, I guess DK, they're all injured. I'm not going to keep reporting also on Ethan Horvath and George Campbell until I see them actually being in the US men's national team picture, which I don't think they are right now. Now in Scotland, Austin Trusty was not available for Celtic this weekend, and Cameron Carter-Vickers was rested and he stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes. So I got nothing to add there. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. And if you need a mattress, don't forget to check out Bear Mattress. The link is in the description with a special discount. Don't miss out. And I guess that's all for today. This week, we have the US men's national team roster stream. I don't know exactly when it will be out yet at the time of this recording, but it will be out this week. And we have another episode coming out at some point, probably rating all the USMNT transfers this summer. I want to thank you all very much for watching and have a great day.